Imagine this. You come home to your beautiful house in London. Your wife is a famous painter, successful, elegant, calm. And then 5 gunshots. Your husband is dead, and you never speak again. Not to the police, not in court, not to your own lawyer. That's exactly what Alicia Berenson does. And that silence, it turns her into a mystery the entire world becomes obsessed with. Alicia Berenson had what looked like the perfect life. She was a talented painter. Her husband Gabriel was a fashion photographer. They lived in a quiet, wealthy neighborhood. From the outside, they were the kind of couple that makes you think, goals. Until one night, Gabriel is found tied to a chair, shot 5 times in the face. And Alicia? She's standing there, covered in blood, gun in hand. But here's where it gets disturbing. She never denies it. She never confesses. She never explains. She just stops talking. Completely. After the trial, Alicia is sent to a secure psychiatric facility called The Grove. Years pass. Still silent. The media calls her the silent patient. Her final painting, a self-portrait titled Alcestis, becomes famous. In Greek mythology, Alcestis is a woman who sacrifices herself for her husband. Why would Alicia compare herself to that? What is she trying to say? Enter Theo Faber. Theo is a criminal psychotherapist, intelligent, calm, a little too interested in damaged minds. When he reads about Alicia, something clicks. He becomes obsessed with her case. He believes he's the one person who can make her speak again, so he takes a job at the Grove. Not for the money, not for the prestige, for her. Now here's where things get interesting. Theo isn't just a neutral narrator. He has his own life, his own problems. He's married to a woman named Kathy, and Theo is deeply insecure in that marriage. He's paranoid she's cheating. He checks her phone. He overthinks every late night. He spirals. Already, you start sensing something fragile inside him. But he convinces himself he's stable. He's the therapist, after all. At the Grove, Alicia is cold, distant, completely unresponsive. But Theo doesn't give up. He studies her diary, written before the murder. And slowly, we begin to see cracks in Alicia's perfect life. In the diary, she writes about feeling watched. She's terrified of a man she calls the masked figure, a shadow in her house, a presence. She feels unsafe, but Gabriel dismisses her fears. Is she paranoid? Or was someone really there? Theo pushes deeper. He interviews people from Alicia's past. Her cousin Paul, greedy and resentful. Her gallerist Jean-Félix, dramatic and possibly manipulative. Her neighbour Max, strangely flirtatious. Her brother-in-law Christian, cold and emotionally distant. Everyone seems to know something, but no one knows the truth. Meanwhile, Theo's personal life is falling apart. He discovers Kathy is in fact cheating. He follows her one night, and what he sees shatters him. She's meeting another man. Theo doesn't confront her, he just watches, silently. Let that sink in. Back at the hospital, something changes. Alicia finally reacts to Theo. Small reactions, eye contact, anger, emotion. It's working. Or so we think. Then suddenly, Alicia attempts suicide. Why now? What did she remember? As Theo continues reading her diary, we learn what happened the night of the murder. A masked man broke into the house. He tied Gabriel to a chair. He tied Alicia up too. Then he gave Gabriel a choice. Either he dies, or Alicia dies. Gabriel chooses. He chooses himself. He tells the masked man to kill Alicia. And in that moment, something inside Alicia breaks. The man leaves, and Gabriel is still alive. But the illusion of love, dead. Later that night, Alicia shoots him 5 times, not because of jealousy, not because of rage, but because the man she loved proved he would sacrifice her without hesitation. That alone would be a shocking ending. But we're not done, because now comes the twist that flips everything. Remember how Theo followed Kathy? Remember the masked man? The timeline starts to blur. We realise something disturbing. Theo's sessions with Alicia are happening after the murder, but the scenes where he follows Kathy happen before. And suddenly you notice something terrifying. The masked man who broke into Alicia's house was Theo. Yes, Theo is the intruder. Theo followed Kathy to Gabriel because Gabriel was the man she was cheating with. Theo breaks into their house, wears a mask, ties them up, forces Gabriel to choose. And when Gabriel chooses himself, Theo leaves, satisfied. He doesn't kill anyone. He just destroys them emotionally. Later, Alicia kills Gabriel. And Theo, drowning in guilt and denial, reinvents himself as her savior. He joins the Grove not to help her, but to control the narrative, to stay close to the only person who knows the truth. Her silence protects him. And when Alicia finally begins to remember, Theo drugs her, stages her suicide attempt, and tries to bury the truth forever. The final diary entry reveals everything. Alicia recognized Theo. She knew. And she chose silence not because she was broken, but because speaking would destroy them both. And that's the genius of this story. It's not just about murder. It's about denial, projection, and the lies we tell ourselves to survive. Theo thought he was the hero, but he was the villain the entire time. And the scariest part, he truly believed he was helping. That's The Silent Patient, a story about obsession, about betrayal, and about how silence can be louder than any confession. So here's the real question for you. If you were Alicia, would you have pulled the trigger? And if you were Theo, would you admit what you'd done? Let me know in the comments. Because in this story, nobody is completely innocent. And sometimes, the quietest person in the room knows everything.